I'm pretty much going to be deleting all my old content. Maybe I'll talk about that more later, but the synopsis of my old content is I spent like 40 minutes where I like revealed my face and like showed uh, that I've been a bad trader for like 10 years and like lost a lot and kind of suck and a lot of things I'd learned and how I have all these problems I have to work on and how I was going to turn it around. And um, yeah, like there's more I could get into, but I've changed a lot as a person, even in the past 4 months, really. And so I just want to purge it all because I kind of realized that I like being more anonymous, I think. Um, I can't even remember exactly my best reasons for that, but I just feel like I will be less likely to want to delete everything. I don't know. It's just kind of nice to be like anonymous. I just feel like a lot of people like I watch. There's a lot of people I even watch on YouTube that I respect. They like show their face all the time, and they have these like pictures on their YouTube channel about where they're like looking cool. They're like in a suit or something, and like I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I guess it sounds like I do. Maybe I do have a problem with that. I don't have a legitimate problem with that. It's kind of my problem that I have a problem with that. But I just think it's stupid how all these people are like pitching their personal brand and always trying to look perfect and always trying to look so good. And I'm just way too much of a shit show to even try that shit. So, not really interested. Yeah, just not really interested in having my face out there and looking super cool and calling my trading place the BDH. Like, good for that guy, actually. Like, I learned some stuff from Patrick Whalen. I think he's overall, like, he seems cool-ish. I mean, I watched a video where he drives that ridiculous truck, but he does donate a lot of shit to children. And, I mean, that's cool. Um, I kind of hate jacked up trucks. I think they look really dumb. I guess that means I have a small wiener since I don't like jacked up trucks. But I just drive an old beat up truck that I honestly wouldn't drive if it hadn't been my first car. Anyway, I'm wasting people's time. Basically, like I'm a guy who's like never been successful at trading. I've like definitely lost at least six figures overall in trading. I don't want to go into the exact number because it's depressing for me. I don't even want to think about it. At least I get tax-free returns if I turn it around. But anyway, in this video I made like 6 months ago or 5 months ago, because I said that in the next 6 months I'm gonna just be at least a break-even trader. And the day I uploaded that video was here for anyone that I guess was like one of the 20 people that subscribed to me. And some guy like went and commented on it. You've been trying for 10 years and you still haven't figured out you're a gambler. And I like got butthurt and basically said that I wanted to like fight that guy in jujitsu, which in hindsight, like some of my old selves, just so lame of me to even like, yes, I've done jujitsu, but like, why do I need to fight this random internet guy? I don't know. I just do think that people talk a lot of shit in the internet and that like, I don't know. I think it would be funny if sometimes they actually like had to back it up in real life. But either way, really dumb for me to be getting triggered and wasting my energy on that kind of stuff. Honestly, my biggest apprehension of even starting the channel is that like, yes, despite the fact that I've go to jujitsu and I've like fought people and blah blah blah. I mean, I haven't like fought where they're striking where I can get punched in the face. Jujitsu still it can suck, but like it's probably not nearly as bad as getting punched. I mean, I've been punched in the face actually. Yeah, I have been punched in the face, not in jujitsu, and it's worse to be a boxer or something. I think overall by like a lot. Probably I don't have the experience, but I'm just saying that like I like made myself do jujitsu because my whole life I was like, oh, I'm a pussy, which if I'm not. God, I'm realizing how I'm going to get canceled. Another reason not to show my face. I'm not trying to offend any women with that. I'm sure it somehow offends people, and which like it's probably legitimate if it does. Believe it or not, I'm not into being politically correct, but I'm also not into being an asshole. Um, yeah, I guess I'll just say that. I like despite all of these things I've done in my life to like prove that I'm tough, and I've like discovered that I can at least be like semi tough. Um, I like am actually a very sensitive person, and I take shit really personally. Whatever, and like someone's gonna probably just take advantage of this information and comment like, "You sound like a huge bitch and like, I hope you fail. And, maybe I just need to deal with that. But I also might just end up turning off the comments, being the soft ass pussy that I am. May as well just embrace it. Maybe if I just call myself a pussy all the time, then like no one will fuck with me. I don't know if that strategy will work or not. I feel like, I watched that movie about the guy who, what's his name? Like Turing. I think it was Alan Turing, right? He was this, I think a lot of people, hopefully you know who Alan Turing is, but really smart guy. Just look him up if you don't. But, he had a lot of shit about him that people didn't like. And they like to beat him up for being different in boarding school. And eventually he discovered that if he just didn't show fear and just like let them beat the shit out of him without reacting, that they lost interest, because like they actually just enjoyed sadistically watching the person like beg for mercy and suffer. And that if he just like let them beat him without reacting, they kind of eventually just stopped doing it. So I guess that's one approach I could take. But I might just, end up going Stalin and turn off the comments because I don't want to hear people tell me how much I suck at trading. Or maybe I'll talk shit back to them. But like that's a waste of time too. That's one thing I respect about Patrick Whalen is how people like come on his podcast or whatever, and they talk shit to him, and he's just like, well, I've made $500,000, so screw you, which I haven't, so I can't do that. But anyway, maybe I need to like become emotionally stronger to be a better trader. See, I don't really buy that though. I just kind of view it as like, why enable negative energy that I don't need to deal with? Like if taking losses in trading is already hard for me, maybe that's the only problem I should be dealing with at the moment. Luckily, no one's going to really care since no one's really following me anyway. So yeah, I'm not going to even try and act like a tough guy, which is blasphemy in the modern age. All the men these days, we're so real man. And I'm a real man. And yeah, I'll just go ahead and declare that I'm not a MAGA person. So if you're a MAGA person, you probably should just drop your toxic comments and like, I don't know what I'll do if you're a big MAGA person. Like if you're someone who voted Trump, but you're like a reasonable person, that's okay. But if you're like one of the guys that's like, I hope all the liberals die and like burn the liberals down, even if like, just if you're one of those like extremists, just please kindly, I know that you won't go away. You'll probably say something, but I don't know. I'm just going to cross that bridge when I come to it. Anyway, let's just get into what happened. I basically said, I'm going to break even no matter what for the next 6 months, which was stupid. You see, like there was already evidence in that statement that I was not ready to be a professional trader. Because if you're really going to be a true professional trader, in my opinion, maybe in 6 months I'll be saying something else, but I think that you kind of need to understand that you can't guarantee fucking anything. Just having a little lemonade there. And so that was stupid. But I could try and argue it. I finally learned to hide my account balance. But I could try and argue it because this is my personal Tradeovate live account, which maybe if I show like one of the numbers, people will, not that it really matters, but yeah, there's like 4 of the numbers for the freaking thing. I don't know. Anyway, this is a real live account. I mean, I'm not like that Danny Trades dude who like, why would I even be bragging about this? It's not that good. It's like pretty bad. However, I've decided to really start from my record keeping from January 1st because, oh no, I put the wrong numbers in, because it's easier I can like simultaneously do my taxes for next year and like have a full tax year. So I kind of just like having a year to date. So yeah, anyway, this is kind of what it's been this year, transparently. So with fees, as you can see, we had a near disaster. This was a lot worse than it looks, but I end up, at 277, I guess, for the year so far. It's got to be better than at least some people, given how crazy our year has been. And then this is from my Robinhood account. You're just going to have to trust me, bro, on that one. It is accurate, though. Like, I don't really not really the kind of person that has interest in like lying to you. I just like, I really don't have time for that. I think that's what unserious people do. And I'm already so unserious in other areas that I'm at least serious here. But prop trading, I decided to not fill it in. You could argue it's negative 10K. You could also argue that it's like good because the expenses I've paid are quite significant, $10,000. A lot of dumb shit has happened. Like, I can't tell you how many times I had to take profit that was like literally $100 from past, and I found a way to blow. Like, oh, so many painful things. I've also gotten, I think, a total of 4 Apex 300K PAs and blown 3 of them. Like, for such bad reasons. It pains me to even talk about it. But anyway, let's just look at what I have left. So basically, this is pretty much just money that's gone. I blew 5 out of 7 of these Tradeify accounts, which, oh my God, I did that on the AI, the DeepSeek night. I just kept buying while it went down on DeepSeek night. So that was really, really, Don't you just love not having a process and just buying, and you just keep buying and you don't have a process and then you lose 5 out of 7 accounts? Don't you love it? Yeah, stupid. Luckily, 2 of them I salvaged, and they're like the original accounts. So one of them is pretty close to payout. The other one's like green by a good bit. I just put the numbers in up here. This is my remaining drawdown. So like if I get these both to pay out, there's only one that's really close, but that's like $6,000. I don't know. Maybe they only give you 90% or 80%. I'm not sure. But so maybe that's an overestimation. But like there's roughly the potential to get my money back with a reasonable expectation. Because just the very first payout, this would assume I just get all the take. I have currently 3 pro take profits, right? And like they're not that close to payout, but if I just get one payout with each of them, by following a good process, which is a big if, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or not. But like assuming I get one payout with all of them that I have remaining and make good choices to do that, I can get roughly, I guess I didn't put tick tick, but like the first payout would be, well, tick tick just changed all their crap. I forgot about it. It would probably be like 2,000 now because they changed their, smart of them, but just like sucks. I think the way Tradeify did that was way cooler than tick tick, to be honest, but you know, it's Tradeify like grandfathered in the old payout rules, which honestly like will win business for me in the future over tick tick. That was like, tick tick wasn't as bad as like fast track per se, which by the way I get to file in the next like 5 days a bankruptcy thing with fast track to try to get some of my money back there. I guess the way you know fast track's business model sucks is because I was actually like going to get enough payouts from them that I would be profitable, and you know they obviously went bankrupt before that happened, and I was like not very good, so I guess that tells you a lot about their business model, that even I was going to be profitable with fast track. But yeah, if you add all this shit up, you basically see that I'll at least recoup my cost if I can just be responsible and get a first payout with the stuff I've got here. And you can see I've already made some progress to that. So I'm going to kind of call it a wash, especially considering that I technically have a total of, I feel like, I wonder if this math is right. I mean, it looks, I just did the sum. Yeah, I mean, that looks correct to me. It's just more than I thought, I guess. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's just higher than I thought. So it's like technically I have 42 grand in drawdown. At times it's been significantly better than that. Makes me really sad. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to not make a lot of the dumbass decisions I've made, but that's kind of why I'm starting the channel again, is to try to make good decisions. And, you know, I think the last time I was doing the channel, I was trying to like make it kind of entertaining, and, probably not going to do that. Probably going to be more just keeping it real, I guess. And I don't know. But yeah, that's the update. The update is that, like, I mean, you could argue I'm kind of achieving the dream, but definitely not enough to not have a job. Luckily, my old job got me enough money that I get like another year of trying to do this before I need to make money. But yeah, pretty far from successful. Just maybe a break even trader at this point. Maybe, when I'm not being really stupid. So that's it. So welcome back to the channel if you remember this channel at all. And if you're new, well, you guys missed the chance to see my face and how much of a pussy I look like, since I'm already worried that people are going to talk shit to me, which is stupid. Like, why do I worry about this? Yeah, at least it does feel good to be honest, because I spent most of my life like trying to sound tough and, I mean, I could like fake it and pull it off pretty good, but um, I don't know. I think guys maybe need to learn that it's like okay to admit that they have fears, and um, I could be like, I don't have anything to prove to anyone for the following reasons, and like I have some pretty strong reasons that could back it up, where I could be like, I have this, I've done this, and so you shouldn't judge me. But the very fact that I feel the need to mention that stuff is like a problem I don't want to have anymore. So, like, I actually desire to spend zero time trying to, like, validate myself on the fucking internet for some strangers. Like, and I think way too many people are into that these days. Like, some are better at hiding it than others, but it's like everyone wants this like approval that they're cool, or like they're a badass, or that like they get bitches, or that you should, yeah, I don't know, they're the best trader. And I want to not be one of those people. It's just not me, man. So anyway, welcome to the channel. Thanks for listening to the rant. And I don't know when I'm going to do updates, but in case anyone was curious, at least they now know how it ended, right? At least people know that I like sort of failed, sort of didn't fail. Just depends on your perspective, I guess. All right.